Okay, so thank you very much for joining our event. What are community managers doing differently this year? So basically, we'll just be talking about how community managers are readjusting to meet the needs of their community. We know a lot of things happened last year, and then community is kind of switching from the way we know it to be. So we'll be talking about what we did right last year and what we want to do right this year, and maybe what we didn't do right last year. And joining me, I have Grace Malik. She's the community manager at Thriving Creatives, and Nelson Ekweme, community lead at Faraday. Hi Grace, hi Nelson.
Hi everyone. Hi Latifa.
Okay, let's just jump right in. This question is for the both of you. If you were to review last year as a community manager for your community or generally, what would be your perspective on how managing communities was last year? Nelson, you can go first.
Okay. So for me, I last year I had two communities that I was managing. I hope you guys can hear me. Latifa, please confirm if I go on mute.
Loud and clear.
Right. So I had two communities that I was managing. One I was the lead, that was at Faraday, and the other one I was more like the growth specialist. So I didn't take active role in managing the community, but you know, helping them building the community from scratch. So this about the question Latifa asked me is coming from two experience of managing these two communities. For Faraday, we put in a lot of consistency, but we didn't get the results we are looking for. For Flint, um, we did a lot of planning and recording, and we got great results, very beautiful results. It was fantastic. So yeah, so in general, community management for me last year was fun and a little bit stressful because I was managing it, my final year studies and other stuff going on in my life. Yeah, so that's all.
Oh, nice. But you are done with your program now, right?
I just have project defense, which will be coming up. It was postponed there, supposed to be this month, but it's be coming up next month, 6th. Yeah, so after that, I'm done.
Okay. Best of luck.
Thank you.
I think we lost Grace. She's no longer on the call. But for me, I would say it was really full of up and downs because I was majorly out of the space. There were a lot of layoffs, and then a lot of people I knew were affected. People that were doing great at their roles, I was looking forward to working with or collaborating with. And then the realization just kind of dawned on me that, okay, if those people could be laid off, then you're nobody. You can also be laid off. So it kind of like affected the way I saw the space, and then it kind of shifted my attention towards, okay, what else after community management? What if we get laid off today? You have something to fall back on, and all sort of things. So I kind of took like more than two steps backwards, let's be sincere. And I'm hoping this year will be better, basically. So I'm really hoping on that. Grace is here to join us. So we'll just proceed from the. You said you're managing two communities. How are you? Maybe not managing. How are you able to like merge both roles and then still do your school coursework?
Okay. All right. So the first I started managing Friday first because Friday is a startup that I'm co-founding. So the role that fits my personality was the community management. So I grew the community from ground up. What helped me was the course of MBA community I took in CMS by David Spanks. So it helped me build the community from ground up. So it was not easy because I had no experience, but going forward, I put a whole lot of energy. I didn't see any results actually. So over the years, I just had to like it was a little bit tense when I started, but at a point I was like, this is normal, like this is like talking to people. So yeah, for a day will have been like being the community manager was stressful and test at start, but as time goes on, I learned on the job very easily and quickly. So for Flint, I started last year. So the community kick started February last year. So it was very easy for me. That was how I know that I learned a lot managing people on Friday, and it was very easy. I was able to like lead the team, schedule, divide the team like based on what they should do to get the effective results. Picking up with all the lessons I've learned from Friday. The community is about Web3, like blockchain, all this crypto stuff. So it was easy. The niche was straightforward, so it was very easy for me to grow the community. And then is communication, right? I did not actually did the work. I was like on top, a management role. So it was easy for me to give command, do this one, check this one. So I was using some technology like Petable to manage the progress, timing myself, putting alarms and all of that. Then for school, school is if you understand your school, like my course is engineering, and I've been in the system for 4 years. So yeah, you know how to roll with that. There are some important things you must show up, and there are some things that you could, miss. Then I had my private work going as a front-end developer and also as a tutor. So that's one. I was still on it. I think I paid more attention on that because that was what was paying me. Yeah. So yeah, that's all.
Interesting. What is paying is important. So that was the fuel, basically.
I love what I do in general, everything. I love them.
But we need to get paid.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Grace, you're back. We were talking about how last year was as a community manager.
Okay. Okay, should I go on?
Yeah, you can.
All right, thank you so much. I didn't even know I'd already dropped off. I think it was my service. So last year was good. Last year was a learning year for me as a community manager. I dived heading into the world of community management January last year. So I learned a lot last year, and I also tried to take on a lot of positions like at different communities, because being into the space was figuring out that there are tons of diverse communities, and it's not just like a one-way street, and also knowing that you can never really know it all when it comes to community. Like every single day there's something to learn as a community manager from your community members. So last year was good. Yeah, I think that's the word I would use. It was a learning curve, and it was um it was a discovery, let's just put it that way. So I think that's the word I'll use to sum up my journey last year as a community manager. So did I answer your question properly, or is there something else that?
Oh, yeah, it's fine. The answer is everything is correct. Anything you say is correct.
Okay.
But I'm kind of interested. You say you joined the community space January last year. Does that mean officially or like this is my first time?
No, no, no. Officially, before, I've been managing communities since 2020, but all of that time, I did not even know there was something like community management, like as a
Yeah, there are
career.
a lot of us.
As like I had no idea that there were communities for community managers, that there were experts on community management. I was signed to no newsletter, nothing. I was just in my thing, and it was January last year that I found out that there is something like community management, and it is quite big. And it surprised me when I went to YouTube and I was seeing videos from 2009, 2015. I'm like, wow, it has been existing this long. So
Yeah.
yeah, last year January was when I started taking it officially, not like my introduction.
Okay, nice.
Thank you.
So just move to the next question. So how are you adapting to the changes in the industry? Because if you look at it now, there's this spur in generative AI, artificial intelligence is causing a lot of, don't let me say havoc, but it is in a way it's affecting my people. So so how are you like adapting to it, knowing fully well that um companies are like looking to use the minimum staff as possible as possible, leveraging AI more than humans, and then the humans are just there to like be the face of the communities. How are you adapting to that?
Okay, so when it comes to that adapting, I have done a lot of adapting in the past year because I found out that community management is okay, it's like if I say I am a content writer or I'm an SEO content writer, that means everything I do is focused on SEO. Like I don't, and that can entail the process of researching to writing and all of that. But when it comes to community management, there's like a lot. So the first thing I knew, I think that's what makes it easy for me. The first thing I knew about community management is that there would be a lot of adapting to do. Like there would be a lot of relearning to do from research and all of that. And then when it comes to AI, and I just take it one day at a time. Honestly, um for the use of AI, it has been able to help me in some ways. Like when it comes to research in places or industries I have absolutely no idea about, it has been able to help me. And I think if I would say so myself, I would say I'm adapting well enough, because adaptability is like one of the things that you must have as a community manager. Just be open to learning, because where community management is now is not where it was last year or last 2 years or last 5 years. So I know that by February, something else is going to come up that I will need to learn more about. I know if it's something I want to add to my knowledge as a community manager, or if I'm just going to continue to go my way. So, adapting, yeah, I've been able to adapt. Just taking one day at a time. It's not no. As I said earlier, the first thing I learned was that you cannot know it all when it comes to community management. Like it's not possible in my own books. So it's just, if anything comes up, I'm making my research and I'm moving on. That's just it for me.
Interesting. Making your research and then adapting. I think the adapting is as important as anything because it's not really about just knowing about this technology. Are you able to adapt? Like, can you just switch in to the new technologies as they evolve? Thank you very, very much for sharing that, Grace. I'm now saying,
It's
would you
my
have anything
pleasure.
to share about that?
Okay, so for me, I think AI tool is very helpful because I know in my busy schedules last year, I used ChatGPT a lot to generate fast ideas or modify my thoughts or correct my grammatical errors, bad English, and all of that. So for me, I do not see AI as a threat, but I see it as a helping tool. And also, I want to mention that out of the whole, because when this AI saga started last year, a lot of people panicked, especially content creators, because content writers, they all fear that AI could take them out of the room. And if I can remember what you asked correctly, um, employers could be looking for AI, using AI technology to like replace real persons in the job. So for community management, I don't think that would be so. You cannot easily replace people in terms of community management because community has to deal with people, right? And I think one of my jobs or one thing I learned in community management over the years is you having that empathetic spirit, mindset. There's a lot of things that I will see going on in my community. I will have to call my community members, ask them how they are doing, hear their stories, do a whole lot of things. Like there is this human touch that I do not think AI can ever do that. AI is smart, yeah, very smart, but they have their limits also. So in summary of everything I'm saying, yeah, you just have to adapt. There is no two way. It's just if you do not adapt, you'll be left behind. So know the tool in order to know how to use it effectively in what you are doing, rather than being afraid that oh, it's going to take my job, or what am I going to do, and all of that. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
Thank you very much, Nelson. Says know the tool so that you can use it to your work to make you better. Don't be scared of it getting you laid off. Me, I'm scared though. So I don't know, what platforms are you people using to manage your communities? Do you see them as being efficient enough? Because we have
I,
all sorts of platforms.
I, I want to go first in this one. Sorry, Grace. I have stories to tell in this one. so
Interesting. Let's hear them.
That's fine.
yeah, the platform we use actually matters in terms of community management. In short, I'm speaking in matter like I'm pained right now. When I started as a community manager, because WhatsApp had this inabilities like incapacity in some certain features, and I think that was 2021. Yeah, 2021. So Telegram was more efficient. It can contain a whole lot of people. It can contain more than required in terms of WhatsApp. The startup Faraday is about managing students, right? Bringing students together, African students. So I won't talk much about that. So, but the thing is, I made that decision. I made that call that we should use Telegram on the start. That Telegram is better. The whole features are so cool and all of that. I preached that, and we started with Telegram. 2021, 2022. It happens that Telegram was not the platform for us as a student. Yeah, people do use Telegram, but for some specific reason. Let me say airdrop for Web3, crypto, and movie downloads and all this stuff. But it was never a good community, a good platform for my community in terms of our audience and what we were doing. So I was deliberating on this matter. Like at first I was we chose it because of scalability that would be easy to scale in Telegram than WhatsApp. But we put in a whole lot of effort in Telegram, but we didn't see any results. So there's some communities that will put in that effort in Telegram, they will get a better result. But for what we were doing, it didn't yield a good result. So it took me long enough for me to like understand that platform in which we manage our community matters a lot. It matters. And right now we are trying to migrate from Telegram to WhatsApp because that's where the people we are looking for are. Even I myself as a community manager, I do not normally check my Telegram like that. So yeah, so that's the story I have to tell. Know that there's some specific platform, know the audience you are looking for, and know the platform they can stay longer, and then choose it. Yeah, that is all.
Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm looking for a platform for market women. Where are they?
Okay.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
We'll just let Grace jump in this.
I was cut off, guys.
Yeah, Grace, you can share your opinion.
Thank you. So, on this matter of, I hope this is not going to be long because it's a lot. So, on this matter of community platforms, I'm just always holding on to this statement that I got from Thomas's community manual ebook, "People, not platforms," because one thing I found out at the start of this year, I found out that I did not track metrics as much as I should for my personal community. I have a personal community, so maybe because it is for me, I when it came to that metrics part and data, I did not do a very good job. I know we are still going to get there, but I just want to track it. So I want to connect it to this platforms issue. And one of the reasons was it was very hard, or it is very hard to track um proper data on WhatsApp. The community holds on WhatsApp. So let me say something. Starting from what Nelson said, that when you're considering platforms, you also have to consider, the people. That's one thing. Like if it was left to me, I would most likely or most definitely not use WhatsApp to anchor a community. But I thought about it. Where are these creators? Where are the people that I want to find in this community? And I said, okay, fine. I know I'll see most of them on WhatsApp. So instead of migrating them to maybe a paid community platform or something, let's just do this easy one. So when it comes to platforms, there are like a lot of things to consider, but I would still say at the end of the day is the people you consider first, because if you are considering, you just have to adapt as the community manager. Sometimes you want to work for brands as well, and then when you're trying to like recommend a community platform for them, and they're like, oh no, let's just use Instagram, or let's just use like um let's use this, what's it called, these social media apps. And like, so how are we going to properly like track? You are trying to build a community, a closed community. So how are you going to do it on an open community platform, an open social media platform? So at the end of the day, right, all of this story I'm just saying is that it is the people when it comes to if I had the decision or if I could make that decision for any community I'm going to manage, I'm just going to look at the people first. Where am I going to find them? And just try to adapt myself to the platform instead of picking the platform before the people.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So nobody mentioned all these platforms like how come their names are escaping right now? Like common room. Yeah, common room and others. I can't remember their names. Because I for a person, I feel like those type of platforms that are outside of any social platform that we know of, they are not easily accessible, if you ask me, for people in Nigeria. Now I'm talking about Nigeria, because it takes a lot for Nigerians to leave something that they actually like, or say love, for instance. It's
Mm-hmm.
like saying I'm uninstalling Twitter from my phone. I know that I'm deceiving myself, I know. But I would still do it because I need to do it at that moment, and then at the slightest opportunity I get, I'm back on Twitter. That's how we operate. So it's kind of like very hard when I see platforms that I want to join or communities that I want to join, and then they are using this website that I cannot even remember the name, or a platform that is very hard to navigate. So those are also one of the things that get to me when it comes to, oh, I want to join a community, and then I kind of like put that into consideration when I'm trying to do things. In as much as Telegram has that capacity or that capability to manage communities, and then WhatsApp is also trying, I feel like they're still lacking on the metrics, because there are a lot of more metrics that we could track. WhatsApp especially is lagging behind. They're not even lacking, they are lagging. They are lagging by, I cannot even quantify it. The the communities platform on WhatsApp, I understand the idea, but it's not quite working. Maybe in Nigeria's context, because I cannot exactly track my metric. I don't know who is saying these messages, and then what impact it is having exactly. And then I cannot say that because this person saw this message, this person actually read it. It's one thing to just mark my messages as read, and it's actually another thing for me to actually read it and then be able to reply, and then we can like see, oh, okay, at this time of the day people reply to messages more, and all those other stuff. So metric for me is topping the list of what I consider when choosing a community platform. And people people is also an important one, maybe second on my list. And that's why I prefer using Telegram over any other social platform. Even Teams, same thing. Discord is a good one, actually. Discord is very, very nice. But getting people to use Discord, oh my god, I wouldn't want to talk about that. So let's just move on. So, since your journey managing communities, have you kind of noticed any trend in the different communities you have managed? Like all communities have this particular thing, all communities follow this particular trend. Have you had any observation like that? Sorry, Nelson, are you there? Okay, Grace went out.
The question, please.
Okay, I was asking that based on all the communities that you have managed, can you say that you've noticed a particular trend in communities, in the community space, like all communities are like this, or all communities have this particular traits, all communities follow this type of direction? Have you noticed anything like that?
Okay, sorry. Is this question based on the platform or on the community members, like the trend? How is what's the
It
context?
could be me. I'm not talking about the platform. I'm talking about maybe
Generally.
community members, or yeah, generally.
Hmm. I what I've noticed as a trend is like is that people. The first one would be people like value, of course. People like to feel as if they are, taking stuff. And when people find a space valuable, they would also want to give something back. I once managed a community where, should I say, they had not properly defined their value proposition, or maybe it was just the wrong target audience, but people were just taking and they were not giving back, right? Like they were not interested in giving back. They were not interested in contributing. They would just view the messages and they would just take what they had to take. But one thing I've noticed in communities generally is that when people are receiving something like heavily, even though not everybody is going to be like reciprocating the energy and all of that, they are still going to want to do something in their own power, even if it's just to message you and say, oh, how can I help out with this? Can I assist you with social media activities, if that's something that's part of, can I be a moderator, something like that, you understand? And something I've also noticed in communities as a trend is that, I don't know the right word to use, but there's a particular word that is like flying off my head right now. I don't want to say bandwagon, but that kind. Okay, when people see that somebody is doing something in a community and like a lot of people are hopping on it, maybe like a trend, and everybody's coming to it, people that saw the message or saw the announcement before and skipped will also want to do it. So it's like very important to make sure that when you want to, maybe like a discussion prompt or something, you make sure that, I don't know how to explain this thing, but I hope you get what I mean. Like when people see that one person is doing something, not even one person, when they see that a lot of people in the community are gravitating towards something, they are also going to want to participate in it, like also show that they also have something to give in that aspect. So those are the two connecting things that I would say I've seen in like different communities.
Okay, thank you very much. If I got you right, you're saying that we should offer something valuable to our
Very
community that
valuable that they
makes them
want to see.
coming
Mhm.
back,
Yes, yes,
keeps
yes.
them coming back. Okay, thank you very much. Nelson.
Okay.
Okay, so I agree with Chris with what she said, because I can remember one of the experience I have in managing Flint, the community for the Web3 is about value. We dished out a lot of values, and people, we got a lot of people to join in. People like taking things for free. Like let me say we are hosting a crypto trading class for free. They all jump in, first week, show enthusiasm, and everybody's up and down and doing. But at a particular point, we noticed that they actually gave back. They started giving back. How we got that matrix is in terms of our X space, we had a great number of retention activities. In short, as a community manager there, I just sit back and just moderate, check for people that are disregarding our rules guideline, and then um, talk to them or bank them, something like that. But since people, if you do give enough value, you are going to get it in return. Yeah, so that is one thing that I have seen. Then in comparing it with other communities that I am, let me say example, Anambra Techies and all these tech communities I am, also it's just similar. So far, you are dishing out a good value, and they are getting something, and they will always keep coming back and keep paying attention or keep engaging. Yeah, so that's one thing I've noticed.
Yeah, thank you very much for sharing, Nelson. On my own part, for me, I feel like it's more of people wanting to feel important. If you do something that makes people show off what they have, I've noticed that it gets more people active. Because if you highlight just one community member for doing one thing, you would notice other people doing it as well.
That's so true. So true.
So when I want to make my community active, I like to do something that kind of highlights somebody. Oh, this person reacted the most to the messages that was sent last week. And then the next week you get a lot of reactions. So I noticed that works. So managing communities, managing crisis. How do you handle that? Who is going first?
Nelson, please go first.
Something tells me you have a funny story to tell.
Okay. For that, I would say I do not actively check on that myself because in the communities that I'm managing, I'm not working alone. So I work in a team. But whenever I check, in short, what I do mostly is I check out, I record, I track. That's what I do mostly. And then meeting, I'll be telling them this is what I've noticed and this is what's how we should do it. So, but my teammates, immediately that you do something that is against the guideline, we first tag you and tell you that we do not do that here. Some people do pick offense. Some people will come to your DM and be like, this is this one. Is it not just this that I did? Or blah 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 blah. Then, if the person does it again, we take him out or him or her out, or like remove the person. We do not take time, like, because like what you said in the last thing, when somebody does things, it's as if everybody is waiting for who is going to do it first. Name say somebody posts it, you do not want external link from another place, and somebody just post it and you keep quiet on that, you then react to it. Next day, a lot of people is going to do that. So immediately we react that we do not want this. We do not. If you do, we remove it immediately. So in your other persons will know that this is not acceptable here, and they know the repercussion if they do it. So yeah, I would say that we take immediate action. We take immediate action on. We do not just keep quiet and like take it. Like if you do not honor our guideline in terms of our onboarding, we write it, do this, read our article to check our rules and regulation. Yeah, so we that's how we do it.
Oh, thank you very much. So you people don't have maybe members having back and forth with each other, students.
Yes, that's what. Okay, so, Grace, do you want to go on?
Okay, thank you.
All right. So, in terms of that, yes, we have, I've seen a lot of things like that. But most of the times is between one of our teammates and the other. So sometimes we go and tell the person, please do not. Maybe let me say the issue of you took down your post. It was inappropriate, and the member was like, "Why did you do this? Why did you do this?" And try to agitate on that matter. So maybe there was this particular period, one of my teammates was wanted to like attack back or like and something like that. It was not good, beautiful at the moment, so we had to caution him down and find a way to like go to the other person's DM, like tell him to like maintains together. So actually, in terms of that, there is no one-way solution that I would say that we use to manage it. Sometimes it's just intervention of I don't know which intervention, but things just rise and then settle quickly and we move on. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Grace, I believe we have something to share.
Okay, thank you. Nelson has said it all literally. But let me just add something. So the first thing I do when it comes to, maybe because me, I don't like crisis normally, but then I know that it is very important to manage crisis like immediately it happens in communities. So in my own personal community, I'm the one that is like, I'm personally in charge of crisis management. I made it so because it might not be an easy thing to diffuse if you let it spiral out of your control. So the first thing I do is to be proactive. Like in my community guidelines, it is clear, it is clearly written, and in any community I manage, that's something I try to put there. There are certain things that you would maybe receive a strike, and if you do it again, you are off. And there are certain things that if you do it immediately, you are going to leave. And something I also do, which Nelson mentioned, is if someone does it, like violates a rule, I put it out there immediately before entering your DM to give you warning. You will receive the warning publicly first. And then when it comes to member argument or fighting in the community, that's also something that I've seen. And in that case, I just try to calm both of them down. Like that's never the time to first hear who caused the argument or something. And that doesn't really happen Like it has not happened in a very long while. Apart from something that happened on, I think, Monday, very wild. Like in the new year, it was so wild, and that was because I was not online the whole day, so I didn't know it happened. But normally, I would make sure I'm always hands on. If I sense it that something is about to happen, I'm already on top of it like immediately. But let's take that instance for example, where I was not online and it had already gone down to the extent where somebody was already saying, "Oh, you can go on. I'm not going to respond to you again." Like this was not my community. It happened to the community I manage, and it was just a topic of, I can't remember specifically, but somebody came, this guy came and started generalizing, calling the girl gold digger. It was just a very, very like funny situation. And eventually I like set the guy straight. This is not what we do in this community. And if you respond once more, you'll be off. And another reason why I said I don't like crisis is that I was so pissed when I saw it. Like, where did this person come from? What kind of message is this? And the girl continually responded. It was just like a cycle. And that's just I just stepped in immediately and set him straight, and he did not respond. But if he had responded at that time, it was going to be immediate removal. So that's it for me.
Okay, thank you very much. You all are going through a lot. Oh my god. I cannot relate. Majorly, what we just CMX Connect, we don't have a community where we gather all our members. We just organize events and we meet at our events and talk, and everybody's fine. Except you want to fight in the comment section of events. Well, I have no hands in that. But maybe this year we might try to turn things up and then have a community where everybody is. So let's talk about how you measure success in your communities, and I mean in the past, and what you have learned from how you measure it and how you want to improve on it. That's like a three-in-one question. I hope I'm clear.
Okay. Let me go first. So, like I said, when I was introducing myself, I had zero experience in terms of community management. So the only education I've ever received was the MBA course I got from CMX, sometime 2021. Yeah, thank you. So the key word that I took out from David's mouth then was measurement. Measurement. Like, if you cannot track it, don't even start it up. Metrics, KPI, all these things. But it sticked to me. Yeah, so I always try to pay attention to like major it, but though it doesn't come easy, to be honest. It's not all the time that I have having a whole lot of things that you are managing apart from the community. It keeps your mind to do it, but at the end of the day it will come to bite you if you do not measure it. So it's very important. So yeah, that's why I could relate with what Grace and you, Latifa, you said about the platform. Funny enough, Nigerian platform, like in terms of what you are doing, it seems like social media apps are the like kind of is the available things for managing community. I know there are some standard platform like intentionally built for community management. There was one I was reading in a newsletter. I've forgotten the name. It's been very long. I read it. So this thing helps you to track the engagement rate, track things like you do not have to track. So what I do before and now is I use it's a lot of work on my end actually, but I take the pain. I do a whole lot of manual input. Sometimes I give up, sometimes I try to update. So I try to use Audible to, track, record. Though I do keep a whole lot of things in my memory. Sometimes it's not efficient actually. But the efforts I make is using Audible. So if you go to my Audible, you see this community, this person, the community, friend community. I manage my team with it. I manage the topics that gives the best results. Like in terms of the Web3 community, we notice that they like talking about the depressing moments. Maybe 2021, there was a bear market, everybody lost his or her money. You came in, you step in with $1,000, you went home with nothing, crying. Everybody will just want to cry. If I tell you my story, it's beautiful. It's always sweet. So for Faraday community, I noticed that talking about scholarships, talking about mental health is one thing that people wants to show. Talking about how to manage your time with your work, with any other thing is one thing that they always pay attention to. So yeah, that's how I do it actually.
Okay, thank you very, very much for sharing that. Grace.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, you said it's the 3-in-1 question. What we did last year and what we are doing differently, and how we track success. So when this year started, I was like doing a review, and I found out that I did not track data. I said that like I tracked data, but me that always preach about tracking vanity metrics found out that 90% of the data I tracked, and this is my own personal community, was just vanity. You know, how many people showed up or how many people joined the community at a specific time. And it was not like it did not contribute to the larger aspect of things, but it did not contribute as much as I wanted. And then December 20 something, the day before I was supposed to do all of the things I did, like review of my community and stuff, my WhatsApp got cleared and I was not able to do anything. I was not able to find any of the information I needed to track more in-depth analysis of my community. So that's one thing that I did not do. So I sat down with myself and I figured I need to do better when it comes to this particular aspect. And then another thing was keeping it simple. Last year I almost got burnt out as a community manager because apart from managing other communities, there was this whole community with creators for me to manage. There were things I had to do every single day to make sure that the community kept running. And it's not a paid community, it's a free community. And I did not want to turn it to a paid community. So showing up every single day almost got me burnt out. And I figured I need to delegate some of these things, right? Focus on the one that brings high-end results and just leave all of these little tasks that can end up taking so much of your time to a community moderator. And I did that. So that's also something that has worked for me, or that worked for me at the end of last year moving into this year. um Also changing my mindset. There were some things that I just felt like you just have to continue to give, like as long as you give them value they will not leave. But at the same time, some people would leave, and when you now reach out to them they would say, oh, I got too busy. And I'm like, no, you did not get too busy. No matter how busy you get, there is still something that's going to be your priority. And like, it's completely fine for somebody to leave. So I had to change my own mindset, and the fact that people are leaving, or the fact that somebody left in a month, maybe 1 to 2 persons left, not focus on the people that joined. Why am I focusing on the people that left and not focusing on the results from the surveys and polls that we are always doing? And that's something that Nelson also mentioned. Can you still hear me, please? Hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I can hear
Yes.
you, Grace.
Sorry, I got the call, so I didn't know if it cancelled. Trying to find out what works in the community and what doesn't. Constantly doing surveys, polls to know what people want, and also which also leads me back to data. Like, just knowing what is going to make them tick, knowing what is going to make them want to also drop value, showing them off, letting them know that they matter, just fostering that sense of belonging more in the community. And then what I would say I used to track success, starting the community, what I was tracking the success rate of my community was with um how many people were getting into the community on a daily basis, on a monthly basis. When I put out a class, an event, how many people were joining through that class, through that event. And then I found out that this is not how to track success. So as I said, last year was a lot of learning for me. And now my first thing that I used to track is the retention rate. If you find a place valuable, you are going to definitely want to stay there. You're going to want to also do something to, as you said earlier, Latifa, um community spotlights and all of that. You are going to also want to be important in that community. And it's not by the number of people that step in or step out of the community. It is the value that the people that are presently there are gaining. It is how long they stay. It is how often they also show up and contribute and want to also give something back to the community. So I did I answer your 3 questions?
Yes, yes. Thank you very,
Okay,
very much.
thank you.
Thank you very much to the both of you. I really, really appreciate taking your time out. So we'll just end it with Should I say two in one question? So what do you see in community management going into the future? And also, what are your opinions on collaboration and partnership with other communities to like make your own community better? Maybe say hanging out together or hosting events and all those sort of things.
Okay. So the first question is what I see in terms of like, in community. Like, can you repeat that first question? I didn't get it very well. Sorry.
Like what do you consider the future of community management to be like?
All right. Okay. Yeah. So for that, I think that people are coming to embrace community. I can remember the time that I actually knew that community was a thing. Felt like it was just joining group was through Web3 actually doing crypto space. So that was when I felt like community is a thing. And most of the times people do talk that Web3 showed us the importance of community because then you could pump a coin or make a coin dog with what the community activities. You could come out in community and see if a lot of people are there, you could tell that this coin could do well and this will not do well. So I feel like people will get to understand now. Community is like the key word for everybody. It's not everybody just mentioning community. Even those that understand or what community is and what community is not. So I think it's just like any other narrative in the space, people will just come to embrace it very well and understand that the importance of using community in terms of their personal growth, their career growth, and every other thing, like that safe haven um, in this world. So yeah, and then the second question is, please can you remind me the second question again?
Collaboration and
Okay, yeah.
partnerships with other communities.
So
Thank you,
for
Grace.
okay, for collaboration, cooperation is very important. That was one thing I kind of tapped in last year. So I collaborated with some communities out there. But one thing I would say about collaboration is managing collaboration is not really very clear for me because name say I joined with this X community to do this, and after that how can I still water that collaboration? Name say okay, there was this particular time the community reached out to my community that they want us to collaborate on a call, and that was it. There was no activities together. We did not know how to proceed for that. So, but later I kind of found out a way to uh, make collaboration much better. I'm still figuring it out. So I say collaboration is one of the best things that will happen. That yeah, will happen to you as a community manager. Learn how to be open to other persons. Because the people that you are looking for could be in the other person's community. So it's good that you share your values there and him also give him opportunity to share his or her value in your own, and then you know get the best result out of it.
Thank you very much for sharing, Nelson. Thank you very, very much. How about you, Grace? Did you go now?
Okay, Nelson has pretty much said it all, but let me start from where he stopped in collaboration and partnerships and how it is like the best thing. And I just have to agree. When it comes to collaborations and partnerships, I'm like a huge fan. As long as what you are collaborating with or who you are collaborating with is in line with the values of your community, then I recommend all the way. Not only does it increase the perception of your community to the other community and vice versa, it's also a chance to like expand. I feel like there's communities, the essence of community is to not do something alone. So why should we do the community itself alone? I really subscribe to collaboration, and it doesn't even have to be something big, as little as co-hosting a podcast episode on something both the communities are very conversant with, or writing a shared blog post from both community members or something. But when it comes to the concept of collaboration and partnerships in every every meaning of the word. Literally, I subscribe to that when it comes to community management. And then when it comes to where I see community management in the future, I'll say I see it being more mainstream. And I'm not saying it's not mainstream enough. Like between last year January and now, I can say I've seen community management 90 times more than I used to see it, or more than I saw it before I knew that it was literally a big thing. And that's because many more people are just getting to know about community management, and every other day there's someone who wants to be a community manager. The brands are no longer saying, oh, we want a social media manager. They are saying we want a social media community manager, or we want a community manager straight away. And it's only when you now enter their DM that you now find out that what they really want is a social media manager that can compile with the community management. So what I'm saying in essence is community management is becoming more mainstream. Like it is becoming bigger, it is becoming it is it's becoming wider, let me put it that way. Also, AI is definitely going to expand, I think. And I don't think we can talk about the future of anything in tech really without talking about AI. So I think AI is going to be more integrated into community management as well. What else? Future of community management, future of community management. I think that's basically it. We are going to continue learning, but yeah, that's what I think. Community management becoming wider than it is right now. Thank you for having us.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know I was muted. Thank you very, very much for making out time. It means a lot to me, really, because it was short notice. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you for having us. Thank you so much too.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we've come to the end of the show. Should we call it a show? I'll just say show. So I feel like I'm hosting it. So enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
You as well. Bye. Thank you.